Hello, welcome to Divine Bloodline Healing TV. My name is bydarryljbanks, professional image consultant, certified master fitness trainer, yoga instructor, modern applied psychologist, relationship, addiction, and post-traumatic stress disorder counselor, with an emphasis in body language, soft skills training, neuro-linguistic programming therapy, psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, on the spiritual side, I'm a Reiki master, spiritual healing advisor, psychic tarot consultant, shamanic moon magic guide, spiritual life coach, and meditation facilitator, with an emphasis in aromatherapy, naturopathy, palmistry, and numerology. Now, today, we're going to talk about dating. Alright, so let's get into it. What do we mean when we say I'm going on a date or they're dating? What does it mean to meet for the first time, second time, or third time in order to get to know each other and see if the relationship of that encounter can last for a longer period of time? For some, it might be short term. Somebody looking for a short term might only be for a few days, weeks, or months. Everybody has a target in mind, whereas other people want to meet for much longer, for months or even years, or maybe even a lifetime. More often than not, the process is more difficult than that. We go on dates, we meet lots of people, but something may not be quite right every time or almost every time. And that might be your story. And if it is, then this message is definitely for you. Now, on this channel, we talk about the ultimate goal being marriage. But after dating a lot of people, you might wonder if there's anyone out there for you at all, because everyone seems so different. Or you might just not get attracted to anyone at all, or might even feel that there's something wrong with you. But let me assure you, it's all normal and you're not alone. Understanding why you're attracted to some people and not to others might give you some clues on what kind of person you really need to look for. Some of the leading U.S. psychologists say speed dating is a stage of romantic relationships in humans whereby two people meet socially with the aim of assessing the other's suitability as a prospective partner in an intimate relationship. It is a form of courtship consisting of social activities done by the couple, either alone or with others. Dating is a more generic social term where one goes out and meets people and spends time with them. However, this is a lot more specific and connotates a romantic time spent together with another person. It means you are seeing someone with a specific purpose, have time to yourselves only, and in regular intervals with the hope of culminating it into modifying the relationship if both persons feel the same way. Dating can mean different things. Some, it's to get out and meet with other people for connecting, communicating, and socializing. For someone else, it might be based on an almost purely sexual urge, where dating someone means getting involved with them in a personal and intimate way. There are no right or wrong rules, as it's whatever works for you, but this is why it gets kind of complicated. Another definition, which is funny but true, comes to us from the Urban Dictionary. And it states that dating is a way for people who are attracted to each other to spend time together to see if they can also stand to be around each other. But most of the time, if this is successful, they develop a relationship. Although sometimes a relationship develops anyway. If the people can't find anybody else to date them, it's human nature to get what's available. That in itself shows that people can get into a relationship out of despair because they're lonely and because there's no one suitable around them. But as we've seen, this path can be very dangerous, because getting involved with someone you're not totally satisfied with is one thing. Over time, with proper communication and respect, it can grow into something beautiful. But on the other hand, if you're getting involved with someone you feel is beneath you just because they're the best option available, this can turn into a disaster. We've all seen it. A few years go by, the initial excitement calms down, you messed around and had some children and raised your socioeconomic status and stuff. You may find that that person that you're trying to settle for, though, is actually not suited for you at all. Sometimes you might even hear stories about how couples hardly noticed each other at all at first. But after a while, they learned to love one another, and then they grew and benefited from the relationship. A wise man said, life doesn't owe any of us understanding, but it's more beneficial to look for someone that suits you well and not settling for something that might or might not work out in the future. What else do we mean when we say dating? Dating usually involves a mix-up of two people that have no commitment or attachment to each other. Even if they weren't on the second, third, or even the fourth date, unless they propose to each other or enter into a committed relationship or to become a couple, no amount of dates signifies actual commitment. Dating someone allows you to freely spend time with the person, but with no promise of a lasting or long-term partnership. Dating may or may not involve physical or intimate connection and can generally be playful and experimental. Dating can be open, which means you can meet with as many people as you like without being labeled as unfaithful. Dating can give you choices and opportunities, where the longer you're engaged into this activity, the better you might understand your own preferences. Dating can be fun, can be exciting, but at the same time it can be quite stressful too, especially when you meet people one after another and not finding anyone that really jives with you, anyone that meshes, or anyone that resonates with you. I hear from friends and family all the time who go out on dates and say it's almost like a part-time job to meet and screen all these people to find out the person that they're looking for. But that's the nature of dating. That's the nature of finding somebody that resonates with you. The reality is you can settle for pretty much anyone, and you can try to make it work with pretty much anyone. But is that what you want or need? So, self-assessment. This is your homework. Ladies and gentlemen, your mission, should you choose to accept it, divide a piece of paper in half. So there are two columns, just fold it straight in half. Make a list of all the qualities in the person that you're looking for on one side. What kind of qualities and what kind of personality are they supposed to have in your mind? What are their hobbies, their interests? Active or less active? Are they into sports, or did they rather watch Netflix? Or what's their salary? You know, that kind of stuff. But most importantly, what are their character traits? What ones would suit you? Which ones are necessary? Make sure you put that down. And then part two, on the second half on the paper, folded it like this, on this side of the paper. Side by side, step into the shoes of the person you created and answer the same questions from their point of view. What would that person be looking for? What would that person expect from you? Review your answers carefully. Are you the person that that person would want? What are you bringing to the table? Is that enough to be competitive? Next time we'll talk about when dating becomes a relationship. But now, let's see what the ancestors have to say. Alright, so we're going to do a Celtic Cross. See what the ancestors have to say. messages do your ancestors have for us today? Overall energy. Five of Wands. The power of Ptah. Division by mutual consent or competition. Overall energy. So, get down to the heart of the matter. If I can grab it. This is soft working out. The World card is the heart of the matter. And in this deck, the World card is reward. All things come together in modesty. All secrets are revealed. All chalices are filled. All wounds are healed. Totality, success, perfection, ecstasy, entirety, self-sufficiency. All right. Number 2 is what's crossing you. The Ace of Swords. And in this deck, the Ace of Swords is the crown of Hathor. Moth just flew by me. We'll go over that later. And the crown of Hathor means struggle. This day. Now the crown of the matter is the Six of Wands. In this deck, the Six of Wands is the scepters of Anubis, which is fleetingness of terrestrial conquest. Number 4, underlying issues, the Two of Chalices. And in this deck, the Two of Chalices is the staircase of Seth. Desire, artistic affinity, disagreements to be smoothed out. So that's the underlying issue. I'm getting more of disagreements to be smoothed out. Now, what are their future influences? The Hermit. And in this deck, the Hermit means prudence. The experience acquired through the light of intelligence and of prudence, the armor of the sage, wisdom, prudence, solitude, research, renunciation, or discretion. Getting more of a discretion. Now, what are your past influences? The Three of Chalices. And in this deck, Three of Chalices is the papyrus scepter, which is toast, relief, healing, vigor. Okay. Now, yourself is the Four of Chalices, and that's the left hand of Neckbet, which is a stroke of luck, annoyance, or a bad omen. But in this case, I'm getting a stroke of luck, a good message. So in this card you can see it's carrying a message. Now your home, got the strength card for your home. And in this deck, strength is intellectual world, moral strength, divine world, the principle of every form of strength, physical world, organic strength, courage, strength, energy, self-mastery, self-control, faith in oneself. That's what you have in your house right now. That's what we want. Yeah. Number 9, hopes or fears. We got the Fool in reverse. Now in this deck, the Fool is punishment. Man as a slave of matter takes his mistakes with him, heading for new mistakes. Blindless, heedless of oneself, bewilderment, lack of direction, courting danger, non-perception, insensitivity. But it came out in reverse. So if that's the case, then you're not getting bit by the croc. You're not blindly walking into no nonsense. You got your head right where you need to be. And the future outcome, we've got the Devil in reverse. Now in this deck, the Devil is fatality. Typhon, the genius of catastrophes, unfolds both the great and the small in disaster. Attraction, originality, diversity, devastation, turbulence, passion. It came out in reverse. So that means let's clarify that one. I'm gonna do that too. Clarify the Devil. The future outcome, Devil in reverse. Clarify the Devil in reverse. Let's just clarify the Devil in reverse. Nine of Pentacles. And in this deck, the Nine of Pentacles is the power of attunement. Shrewdness, caution, seeing both sides of something. Ambiguity. It's got the eye of Horus, the eye of Ra. The all-seeing eye. So yes, future outcome is seeing both sides. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Hope you enjoyed.